We have to look at the new covenant like a marriage. Now, here is the marriage. And if we know and understand these things, then we get an understanding of everything. In this marriage, Yahusha is the bridegroom. No, we are not the bride. That's what we were taught. I think we have a teaching we have a teaching on justtheword.org that goes into this in detail. It's Jerusalem that is the bride. It's not us. And this is where they do err. They are using us as the bride. We're going to see this. We are the guests. We are those who are invited to the supper. It is an invitation. I'm telling you something, people. When we are acting, we are walking as believers. Many of us have this entitlement thing, okay? I did this, I did that, therefore Yahuwah is beholden to me. Eh? No, we have to qualify. The onus is always on us to qualify. You have to be accounted worthy. You have to qualify. We're going to show those verses. So when you qualify, then you will be guests at the marriage of Yahusha with Yerushalayim. But as it is in a marriage, I remember back in those days when I was out in the world, when there was a marriage, the amount of months they would give you in advance. And you know why they give you those months in advance? You're being invited to the marriage of John Brown and John Brown and Janet White. That will take place on such and such a time, months in advance. Why? They give you time to prepare. They give you time to get the money together, to save out of your monthly money, to buy new shoes, new this, new that, to buy them gifts if necessary. All of those things. Yes? It's the same thing. In the new covenant, you are brought into the covenant through Yahusha. Then you have to endure to the end. Yes? In order to, in the end, to be able to qualify to be invited into the marriage. Yeah? We have been given time to get ready for the marriage. So we must have enough oil in our lamps. This must tell you that we are going to the parable of the virgins. The parable of the virgins easily explain the new covenant. Easily. If we are not ready, we will be rejected when the bridegroom comes. That's it. So we are here now. I, for example, am here as a believer, given an entrance by obeying Yahuwah, listening to his words, striving after his words, striving to walk after his word. If at the end I am not perfected, then what do you think is going to happen? He's not going to bring this imperfect person in. He's going to be rejected when the bridegroom comes. So this person has to strive for perfection, strive to make it into the kingdom. Many believers don't understand this. So when they come into the way, they relax. There's a reason Yahusha, Shaul said, there's one thing that I do. I forget everything that is behind and press toward the mark of the high calling that is in Yahusha. That is what we need to do. So let's look at the parable of the 10 virgins, because they explain the new covenant so simply. So simply. You don't need to go any further than the parable of the 10 virgins. Let me begin. Then shall the kingdom of Shamayim be likened unto 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. 10 virgins, and 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. So these 10 virgins refer to being chaste, to being clean. Okay? So these are people, 10 believers. But 10 of the believers were wise, 5 of the believers were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. 10 believers. That's why there's a saying in the world, 7 brothers, 7 different hearts. Every believer will deal with their salvation different, which is why Shaul says every man has to work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. So 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. The oil refers to the ruach we're going to see. So they took no oil with them. So these are believers who came in the way, and they were lackadaisical, focusing on this world, and part of their foot, they were double-minded, part in the world, part in the way. They served Yahuwah. They will talk a good talk about Yahuwah. If you want people to talk about Yahuwah, listen to these people. But their words, their way did not match their words. Then you have the wise. These are those who are sold out to Yahuwah, who have denied themselves, who go about to serve Yahuwah, not caring to their own hurt. They just go out. And these, of course, will be ostracized by the other 5. The other 5 will look down on them because the other 5 will feel really inadequate when they are with these people. When they are with people who are sold out, they are going to start feeling bad in themselves. That comfort that they have, that, I am serving Yahuwah, it's not going to be there because they see another person that is outdoing them. So these wise will be totally sold out, and the ruach will be there leading them and guiding them. And it says, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. Those were the wise. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. So they were kind of all together in that they were in the new covenant. They had the ruach. But there were some who were foolish, who were not supercharged. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go out to meet him. At the latest time there is midnight. That was when the Son of Man will come. And he says, go ye out to meet him. But guess what? Those foolish were not prepared. That's what makes the difference with the new covenant. In the new covenant, you are given an opportunity to prepare for the wedding. If when the time comes for the bridegroom comes and you're not ready, you're going to be unprepared for the wedding. Hey, then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. So the lamps are gone out shows that when Yahusha comes, we will be tested and we will realize within ourselves that we are not ready. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. So you see, those who are wise work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. They are saying, no, if I give of yours, what about my salvation? And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Those that were ready. This is a new covenant. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready, 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 ready. Are you ready? It is those who are ready who are going to be taken in. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Master, Master, open to us. These are those who come late, who are not ready. Yeah? And they are saying, open up. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. I know you not. And what did it say in the end? Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. Watch. And this word watch here is G1127, to keep awake. That is, watch, literally or figuratively, be vigilant, be watchful. So we have to be vigilant in this covenant. So we are given the opportunity in the covenant. What do you do with it? You see, the Most High does not give us, He gives us the opportunity. He does not give us every single thing. What about you? What are you doing to get rid of this madness, this folly, this foolishness that is inborn in you? How are you going to be changed back to original Adam? How are you going to be changed to a sinless man? If the Most High gave you the new covenant and just came and said, okay, no man will need to teach his brother anymore. No man will need to teach his neighbor. No. The Most High makes sure that you are prepared and you are ready. It is when you are prepared and you are ready, then Jeremiah 31:34 will come in. They will have to teach every man his brother or his neighbor. So we are already in the new covenant, but this is the watch phase. This is the phase when we have to be vigilant, when we have to be watchful, when we have to prepare ourselves for the bride to come, for the groom to come. Okay? Did I stop at 13? Yeah. So let's just look a little at a few things. The lamp, the oil, and the ruach. The lamp must be burning forever. This is a principle from the Old Testament. Now, this principle from the Old Testament lets us know and understand the new covenant. Because the Old Covenant, it says it shall be a statute forever. But yet still it's still not burning. Why? Because the temple was destroyed. And because the temple was destroyed, we are not in that covenant anymore. Yes? We are not in the literal covenant. This is a very funny thing about the old covenant. We still walk in the testament, the laws of the Old Testament in our hearts. They are not done away with. Okay? But the covenant itself is ready to vanish away. When will it finally vanish away? It is when Yahusha returns. And when he returns, that is when the Most High, we are not going to have to teach our brothers and our neighbors anything. But we are in the new covenant. But we have not yet been brought into the bond of the covenant. Very complicated, but let me go. The lamp must be burning forever. Remember the lamp that the 10 virgins had. And thou shalt command the children of Yasharal that they bring thee pure olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always. That's the lamp in the temple, and our bodies is the temple. So the ruach must be blazing and burning at all times while it is in us. That's what happened to the foolish virgins. Their lamps were not blazing. The ruach was not blazing in them. In the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before Yahuwah. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on the behalf of the children of Yasharal. So, that lamp is no longer burning physically in the temple. So what is our oil? Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So the word, which is ruach. John 6:63, it is the ruach that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are ruach and they are life. So the words are ruach, and we have ruach HaKadosh, the ruach. That is our oil. It's a combination of this that makes the virgins perfect. Now, we said Jerusalem is the bride. Many people will tell you from Christianity this came from. They called us the bride. We are his bride. This is not so. It's Jerusalem that is the bride. When John was speaking, let me see if I can get to John, what John said before we go any further. It's John 3:29, yeah. He that hath the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoiceth greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This my joy, therefore, is fulfilled. So John described himself as the friend of the bridegroom. And we know in marriages we have that. We have guests who are called to be like the best man and the bridesmaids. Okay? And yeah. So John was the friend of the bridegroom. Jerusalem is the bride. Let's go and look at it. Isaiah 62, verses 1 to 7. Isaiah 62, 1 to 7. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. There is that lamp again, the salvation. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, the righteousness of Jerusalem, and all kings thy splendor. And thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of Yahuwah shall name. Thou shalt also be a crown of splendor in the hand of Yahuwah, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy allure. Thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, Jerusalem, neither shall thy land any more be termed desolate. But thy name shall be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah, for Yahuwah delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. Thy land shall be married. For as a young man marrieth a virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee, and as the bridegroom rejoiceth over the bride, so shall thy allure rejoice over thee. So it is the Jerusalem that it's talking about. As a young man marrieth a virgin, so similar, so shall thy sons marry thee. So Jerusalem will be chaste. Okay? I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day or night. Ye that make mention of Yahuwah, keep not silence. Where is it? Going to verse, where is this thing coming up? To verse 7. And give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in all the earth. It is Jerusalem that is going to be the bride. Let's go to the book of Revelation 21, verses 1 to 4 for confirmation. Revelation 21, 1 to 4. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the set-apart city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Alua out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. It's Jerusalem that is the bride. And I heard a great voice out of Shamaim saying, Behold, the temple of Alua is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Alua himself shall be with them and be their Alua. And Alua shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Jerusalem, the set-apart city, is the bride of Hamashiach. So Hamashiach is the groom, we all know that. And this groom is the mediator of the new covenant. The new covenant that we're talking about, that some say we don't have, Yahusha is the mediator, which means he is the lawyer, the person that goes in between. Moses was the mediator of the first covenant. Yahusha is the mediator of the new covenant. Hebrews 9, what did I say? Let me get it. 9, 11 to 28. All right. But Hamashiach, being come an high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the set-apart place, having obtained eternal redemption for us. For if the blood of bulls and of goats, and the ashes of an heifer, sprinkling the unclean, sanctifieth to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Hamashiach, who through the eternal ruach offered himself without spot to Allure, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living Allure. And for this cause, which cause? The cause of his blood, to purge our conscience from dead works. For this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament. The word testament there means covenant. Where are we here? And for this cause. Yeah. The word testament, let me get it on the screen to show you. So when you see New Covenant and New Testament, speaking about the same thing. The word testament there, G1242, diatheke, from G1303, properly a disposition that is specifically a contract, especially a divisory will, covenant, testament. So New Testament is the new covenant. So he is the mediator of the new covenant. That by means of death, so when he died, yes, that is the means through which we came into the new covenant. That by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. Hey, very simple. Through his death, because he was the perfect lamb, and he offered himself up unto Yahuwah, Yahuwah accepted it for the redemption of the transgression that were under the first covenant. So when we sin now, we have an atonement. That is why John 2:1 says, I beseech ye, brethren, that ye sin not. And if any man sin, ye have an advocate with the Father, Yahusha HaMashiach, the righteous. And he is the propitiation for our sins, and not for our sins only, but also the sins of the whole world. So that is the New Testament. For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator. Where a covenant is, there must of necessity be a... So it's telling you that with the death of Yahusha, that is what established the New Testament. It is not in the end, when he's going to let us no more know our enemies. It's from right now. And then we have to determine what we do with what we have between now and that time. For a testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth. Whereupon neither the first testament was dedicated without blood, the first covenant. So if it's speaking about the first covenant and it's speaking about now, now must be the second covenant, the new covenant. For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the Torah, he took the blood of calves and of goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop and sprinkled both the book and all the people, saying, This is the blood of the testament, this is the blood of the covenant which Allah hath enjoined unto you. Moreover, he sprinkled with blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood. And without shedding of blood is no remission. It was therefore necessary that the pattern of things in the heavens should be purified with these, but the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices than these, better than bulls and goats. For Hamashiach is not entered into the set-apart place made with hands, which are the figures of the true, but into Shamayim itself, now to appear in the presence of Allah for us. When? Now to appear in the presence of Allah for us. It's a new covenant. Now. Nor yet that he should offer himself often, as the high priest entereth into the set-apart place every year with blood of others. For then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world. Here it is again. He's telling you that it's only one offering that brings us into the new covenant. He's not going to have any offering again, so that in the end now, when it's time for him to return and we're going to be brought into the bond of the covenant, then he's going to die again for it. No, he's saying one time. For then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world. But now, once in the end of the world, now at that time when they were speaking, now in the end of the world hath he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. That is the new covenant. One sacrifice. removes all the sacrifices of the old covenant. I don't know why these people are saying we're not in the new covenant. Hey, I'm going to show you one of the reasons why. And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment, so Hamashiach was once offered to bear the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation. This again, no. Look at verse 28. Once he brings us into the new covenant. But unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation. What is that speaking about? It's speaking about the parable of the 10 virgins. Unto them that look for him. It was the 5 wise who were looking for him. Shall he appear the second time? So it's one offering, but 2 appearances. So we are in the new covenant, but we have to endure unto the end when he returns the second time to be unto salvation. Just like the 10 virgins, they were wise and they had oil in their lamp so that when he came, they were ready, they were prepared. And so, when the marriage was there, they went in. And by the way, to show that we were not the bride, there were 5 wise that went into the marriage. Are you telling me Yahusha is going to marry 5 people? It's polygyny. No. Jerusalem, they were the guests at the wedding.